Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. I'm your host, Bobby Butler. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have our legend segment. And tonight, we got another true Delray Beach legend, baseball star, new head coach, Atlantic High baseball team. Welcome, y'all help me welcome to the show, Mr. Eddie, Big Cat Odom. Welcome to the show, Eddie.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm proud to be here. I'm so humbled to be in your presence, even though we're not in the same state. We're on the same live video, and I'm here to say, man, thank you for all you've done for Delray.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm trying to just put my own fingerprint on what's going on in Delray Beach, Florida today.
Well, I tell you something, and this is the truth. Believe it or not, you have already put your fingerprint on Delray, because I'm a firm believer, Eddie, that when we were kids, just playing ball, right?
Right.
There are always those kids behind us watching us.
Absolutely. I was one.
Right, and being inspired, right?
Right.
You always hear me talk about Anthony Penn. Man, I don't know where I would be without the inspiration from Anthony Penn.
Right.
And so you already been putting your fingerprint on it, but now you're in a different role. And it's in my opinion, it could be the most prestigious role at the high school, simply because of the history of the baseball program at Atlantic High School.
Well, I'm very humbled by that, but I'll tell you this. The only thing in the world that I absolutely know, that I know how to do, that I don't question myself on, is baseball knowledge.
Amen.
And baseball know-how, and how I was raised by my mother and my father, and especially my father when it comes to baseball, is that you have to leave something when you leave this world, because nobody stays forever. You have to leave something.
That's right.
And my dad left me the knowledge of a lot of baseball. And I had opportunities to coach at other high schools, either on a part-time basis, even a head coaching basis. And I would never do it because I was waiting on this job.
Wow.
Believe it or not, the only job I ever wanted when coaching kids was my alma mater, Atlantic High School. I was drafted out of this high school.
Yes.
And the history of Delray Beach baseball, Delray American Little League, Delray National Little League, is something that I inspire to put in the kids in Delray.
Yes.
I'm not a person who wants to go out to recruit this person or this star. I just want the two leagues, Delray American, Delray National, keep our kids home and let us see what we can build. And it's gonna be, it will be world renowned, because that I like to win, so I like to practice.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you this right now. All I know is our little bitty town,
right,
Delray Beach.
Right.
I don't know the kids anymore, but I can promise anybody in this country or this world, that we got athletes in Delray.
Oh yeah,
it's a breeding ground.
Oh
I can't explain it. You can't explain it.
Nope, I cannot.
It's always been that way, right? So one thing we know for sure, we have athletes.
Right.
And I'm so thankful for guys like you who are very knowledgeable about the game. I mean, your backbone, your history with your dad. I talk about your dad all the time. I would be nowhere today without your father, right?
Right.
And so I talk about that, and you were in the same house with him. Your mom. Hey, listen, your mom is a star.
Absolutely.
But she's a star. And nobody truly knows about her athletic ability, her athletic talent as a kid, because when she left Carver, and integrated Seacrest High School, they didn't have the same sports program.
Right.
So she was kind of,
left out the picture of the athletics of the Lee Odom family.
That's right. That's right.
But her greatest vouch is, and you know this, because when you're talking about Carver High, you're talking about all the minority kids, black kids from Lake Worth to Boca.
That's right.
So her claim to fame for the athletic prowess that goes throughout our family is that she was a starting freshman for Coach Pompey.
Oh.
So if you was a freshman on varsity
Yes.
playing for Pompey,
Oh.
that means that's enough said.
Right. That's enough said. You got it. You got it.
And the fact that I know my dad, I love him to death, strong of ox, but he ain't fleet-footed. He's not the fastest person in the world.
Okay, so all right, so that's good.
So I know the speed had to come from somewhere.
That's
and
right.
when my mama said she ran track,
Yes,
and
sir.
she played for Coach Pompey
That's
as
right.
a freshman. See,
Wow.
and that's why we reiterate from Lake Worth to Boca.
Boca.
If you was looking like us,
That's
you
right.
went to Carver High. So that was some hellified athletics
Yes.
and competition
Yes.
at Carver High before you went out to play the Dillards and the Blanche Ely's of the world.
That's right.
You had to be the best at Carver.
At Carver. There you go. There you go.
And for my mom to do that as a freshman,
yes.
Then that sophomore year, of course, we know the story. Or if you don't know the story, she went on to play in the Mules there.
Right.
But she wanted to be a Tiger Belle.
Right. She told me.
Tennessee State. And back in those times, that was a great track program.
That was the best track program.
Right. So those two things, being recruited by the Tiger Bells or whatever they were called, and being on Coach Pompey's freshman basketball team as a freshman, that tells me your athletic ability.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So my daddy ain't come with the speed.
Well, I think,
come from my mama.
So y'all got the great mix. So you got your mama's speed,
right?
You got your daddy bulldog determination.
Oh, absolutely. You got to be bulldog. You got to have heart. And the one thing my dad always used to tell us when we were little kids playing for the Rocks, and you played for him, he always used to use the comment is, look at that person in the eye and then pretend like he stole your sister lunch money, and you got to get it back.
That's it. That's it. Hey, I miss those days, man.
You know what I'm saying? Now how you gonna do that?
Hey, listen, man. I can remember the times, man, when we were on that Delray Rocks bus. And you know how we used to do it, right? When I was on the 130-pound team, you know, the 105 would be playing, and we're playing away. We come in there banging on the bus, singing songs. You can hear us a couple blocks down the street.
Everybody get up.
Everybody get up.
Get up for the rock.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then your dad, man, you know, the way they motivated us, man. It was just, man, it was just, I'll never forget those days.
See, motivation is easy when you prepare the player.
Amen. Amen.
If I see as a coach, and I'm going to do this with Atlantic baseball, if I prepare you and I coach you, I coach you up in practice, I coach you up in conditioning. If I put you in the lineup, if I pinch hit for you, if I put you in as a DH, if I put you in as a defensive-minded player, I know you can do the job. Because as a coach, I will not put you in a situation where you're not successful or you can't succeed.
Amen. That's it. That's it, Doc.
So I have to prepare you for that success by practice, reiterate, practice. So when the game comes, all I got to do to my player is say, hey, do what we practice.
Right. There you go.
And do it with a smile.
Do it with a smile. And
do it with a smile.
If you practice the right way, the games will be easy.
Much easier. Much easier.
Yes, sir. Yes,
much easier. Because I know the one thing about my daddy, and you know this is playing for him, and me living in the house with him, is your practice is gonna be 10 times harder than your playoff game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then when you do get the series or the 3-2 count or the double play ball with the bases loaded, you revert back to your conditioning of practice, and it becomes easier. You soothe your heart because you know you prepared for this.
That's right.
You know, if I practice baseball all week, and then we go to the field and they say we're gonna play a 5-on-5 basketball game, I'm gonna be nervous.
You're gonna be nervous. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, but if I go to the field and I've been practicing baseball all week,
man. That's right.
And then they say play ball 9 against 9.
We're ready to go.
I'm not worried at all.
No, we're ready to go.
I'm not worried at all. All you got to do is do what you practice.
That's right. That's right. That's
Do
cool.
what you practice. I don't care if they #1 state team or if they're the team that just started.
That's right. That's
The
right.
one thing about baseball is a very humbling sport.
Mm.
You always know who mess up.
Mm.
When you go up to bat, it's the only sport that when you go up to bat, I could be in the restroom.
Right.
And they say, now I'm batting. And center field, Bobby Butler.
That's right.
I might be getting out of my car.
But yeah, you know, right? That's right.
Bobby Butler, you could be #1 in the batting lineup, right. You could be #9.
Right, that's
when
right.
you go up to bat, they're going to say your name.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
And then if you strike out,
oh boy.
They don't say Atlantic Eagles struck out.
That's right. That's right.
They say Bobby Butler.
They're going to call your name.
Struck out.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, you know what, Eddie, this is it's funny, man, because I don't know anything about baseball. You know, it's the only sport that never called my name. And I used to go and watch everybody play, all my buddies play over there.
Mo Wesley?
Yeah, Mo, all of them. Lawrence Strange, yeah, all of them.
The Burgesses.
Joe Chaney.
The Burgesses, Spencer Jackson,
all of
them. Mitchell, Vic and two.
Vic and two. I used to go there and watch them. And I was content with being out in the stands.
Well, it's different. You was a Hall of Famer in my book. So,
thank you, man.
What we meaning if you didn't have to play baseball, so because you were so successful in football.
But I played every sport. I played basketball, ran track, but I never.
I'm gonna tell you why. Baseball is a sport if you don't play young.
Right.
Because
there you go.
If you have to play it young, like you have a right-handed hitter, you have left-handed hitters. In football, you have a right-handed quarterback or a left-handed quarterback. You as a cornerback, you know if you play better on your left side or your right side of the hash marks or what have you. When baseball is so different because with your weak hand, you have to learn how to catch the ball with the hand you don't use at all.
At all. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that's your protection. Your weak hand in baseball is your protection.
Wow.
And then your strong hand is the one you throw the ball with.
Right.
So baseball is all skill. But you have to have knowledge too. So when you go up to bat, it's the only sport to where you have to have a circular object that's moving, no matter what speed it's moving at, it's moving. Now you got to hit that circular object with the oblong object of a different size, and that has to also be moving to hit another moving object.
Right. Okay.
Now, so you can take great athletes, and you can see some of them that play in the all-star softball game or what have you, and they can't hit a baseball, or they can't catch a baseball, or it's kind of awkward. And so if you don't play it young, it doesn't mean that you're not a great athlete. It just means that baseball makes you use muscles and things that you normally don't use.
Wow.
Football, if you have heart, speed, and the willness, you can go somewhere.
You can go somewhere. That's right.
And basketball, if you have heart and the willingness to practice by yourself, you can go somewhere.
That's right.
But baseball, and I tell that to our culture, and a lot of the island sports do it. You have to play young because it's so much of a skill asset.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And size doesn't matter in baseball at all.
At all. Right. Exactly.
It's a skill set.
It's a skill set.
And it's hard because a little league baseball player can throw and catch. So the difference between a Florida State cornerback and Atlanta Falcons cornerback is timing.
It's timing, right.
Like you run a 4.6, I run a 4.4.
Right, exactly.
You cut out your break, I run a shuttle run at 8, you run a shuttle run at 9. Right. You got hit, but I do that. So everything is bam, bam, bam. So I'm gonna go first round, you may be free agent. See, in baseball, everybody that plays AA, even I say we'll go to little leaguers or senior league or even high school players, everybody can throw and catch at a certain time.
Right.
But in baseball, how fast can you do it?
Right. Okay.
Now you got to do it quicker and faster. Now you got to do it more skillful. You can't throw it. You notice in Major League Baseball, they don't have walks. They don't throw balls. That's why we fight if I'm pitching.
Right.
And you hit me with the ball, I know you tried to hit me.
Right, exactly.
Because we throw the ball. Bo Jackson had one of the best throws ever. He threw the ball from the wall straight to home plate. You're talking about 320 yards away, or 320 feet away. We use feet in baseball, and he hit a perfect strike. So you mean to tell me as a pitcher, you 60 feet away from me, and you ain't hit nobody all game, all the ball coming at my head?
I got you.
We're too good at that. Everybody can throw dimes in baseball.
That's skill.
So that's why that it's a skill.
Yeah.
But you have to have the skill with your athleticism.
Right. Okay.
And that's why you have players in baseball that makes $10 million, $15 million a year, and you don't know their name.
They're right. Exactly. Man, that's powerful right there, man. So now, Eddie, so let's talk about it. Now, you grew up in Delray. We know Red Odom is your daddy.
Yes.
And you played
Very proud to be his son.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You played football and you played baseball.
Yep, captain of the football team in high school at Atlantic, 2 years running.
Okay.
Captain of the baseball team, 2 years running. I was homecoming king.
Wow.
At Atlantic High School.
You're the man.
I was drafted by the Seattle Mariners.
Yep.
Out of high school at Atlantic High School in the 30th round.
Wow.
I had a great time in high school. But it boils down to this. I had parents that cared about every aspect of my life.
Amen.
And when I say every aspect of my life, I mean from going to class every day, going to practice every day, going to practice when they didn't want to take me or I didn't want to go. You going anyway. And it's a funny story. My freshman year in high school, I played baseball with Larry Hoskins on the Buckington Baseball School. We was in Venezuela and Aruba. And I got back late. The Rocks, this is the Rocks team that went undefeated. And I got back late, and they had already had the team established. So I could have either played JV football at Atlantic or I was just going to sit home and just be Big Cat, right? It wasn't no travel ball stuff back then. So my mom said no, because, my sister, I was a freshman in high school, my sister Candy, which is Coco's mom, Candy. So she was running cross country her senior years. This is 88.
Okay.
So 87 going to 88 had been the spring. So my freshman year in high school, I didn't get to play with the Rocks, and I wasn't going to play with the Atlantic football team because there were too many headhunters on that team. I wasn't going to be the dummy guy in practice. Y'all not finna have first team defense on Wednesday, and I'm the running back.
I hear you, boy. I hear you.
Yeah. You wasn't going to do me
No, that's
I
right.
remember when I was at the Rock, we used to salivate when we had first team defense and we had the other people over there on offense acting like they're a different team.
That's right, boy.
We don't treat you like one too.
That's how it was.
Yes. So anyway, then it's the funny thing. I'm gonna go all the way back to the story we started with about starting something and not quitting.
Right.
So the first day of cross country practice, because my mom said you're gonna do something. So I go out there and run cross country with my sister Candy and tiptoe Stephen Adderley. At the time, he got a national title with the University of Florida. You know what I'm saying? He holds a lot of records, and if you can, Stephen Adderley is a person you'll probably want to get on the show. Because he won I think he won 2 national titles in track for the University of Florida. You know what I'm saying? So he was on that cross country team too. I was a freshman. So the first practice we had, and if you know Old Atlantic, the first practice we had, we started at Old Atlantic, and we had to run all the way to Linton Bridge.
Wow.
When we get to Linton Bridge, we had to do back and forth, up and down Linton Bridge till you got to 10, up, back, 1, right? So we get to 10, and then we have to jog back to the Atlantic High School, right?
Wow.
So that ended up being like 8 miles or so, right? So I immediately go home to my mom, tell her, cross country is not for me. Not for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cross country is not for me. I get in shape some other way.
Wow.
But You know what? In pure Odom fashion,
Uh-huh.
mom goes to me. She's like, "Son, I understand it's hard, but you should have never started it,
Right.
and you ain't quitting."
You ain't quitting. There you go.
Nope. So
There
I
you
went from, long story short, I went from my first meet, I ran like a 24 3-minute mile, to my last meet, I had an 18 3-minute mile.
Oh, wow, man. That's a big improvement.
So I learned at that point that by being in shape and conditioning, you're better than what you think you are.
Absolutely.
And you can run. And then my coach at the time, can't think of his name, when I ran a 24 3-minute mile, he told me, he said, just don't walk, because I stopped and walked.
Wow.
So I knocked down 2 minutes at the next meet by just not walking. He said,
Just
I don't
don't
care
walk,
how hard, just don't walk.
Don't walk, right.
So with my baseball players, I just want them to never give up.
Amen. There you go. There you go. You know what? I'm gonna say this, man. You know, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't understand. I don't care what sport you're playing. I don't care what field of work you're in, what kind of business, whatever you're involved in. That's the one thing you can't do is quit.
You can't. And I learned that my mom made me, and trust me, I wanted to quit because I was like, this ain't for me. This ain't no work for me. But what it did was, when I did go to FAMU on a baseball scholarship, because that's where I went to school at, and FAMU, we ran to the Jay Gator golf course. We ran to, I had to go to it for discipline measures. Sometimes you had to run to the airport, and if you ever been to Tallahassee, the airport is a long ways from FAMU. But that was some of the discipline measures. But what it taught me was almost like doing push-ups. You know, every sport you have a lot of team sports. You have boxing, you have tennis. But like football is a team sport, baseball is a team sport. But you as a cornerback, when it's a one-on-one, everybody blitzing, everybody one-on-one, you holding Jerry Rice. Bobby, you got beat.
Of course. That's right.
So for you not to get beat,
that's right.
What you got to do in April? What you got to do when the year ends? What you got to eat? What you got to sleep the night before, and all that's for that one play.
That one play. That's right.
Because your team counting on you. So I try to read it to my athletes is that the harder you work, the better that person in the mirror is to you.
Yes.
The better the team gonna be.
I like that, man.
Can't help it. The better the team, or the better you are.
Absolutely.
The better my team gonna be. So everybody on the team is trying to get better. I don't know what your better is, but be better than what you was yesterday, every day. In 4 years, if I have a freshman, in 6 months, if I have a senior, in 1 year, if I have a junior, in 3 years, if I have a sophomore. If you get better every day, I don't care what your better is. But if you get better every day, how you not gonna be great?
That's right. That's true. I agree with that.
How the team not gonna be good?
I agree with that. I agree with that. So you know, it's amazing. I got a question for you.
Absolutely.
When we talk about baseball today, we talk about it seems like African Americans don't participate like they used to.
Right.
So how are you going to change that? How can you help make that change?
Well,
what is it about our kids with baseball now?
Well, the first thing is, especially our culture, we go by what we see. You know what I'm saying? So in our culture, we see a lot of these kids getting D1 scholarships in football, and it's not a lot when you do percentages. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta got 65 kids on the team. 5 may get a D1 scholarship. 10 may get preferred walk-ons. The rest, I don't know. So when you go percentages, it's not a lot. Well, this past year in Delray American baseball, we had I know Prince Ferguson, I know Trey, I know we had 2 kids that get baseball scholarships. That I know of, and I know a couple more are gonna get some. And you go percentages, we are much higher.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Than the percentage of football scholarships.
I get
when you talk about who plays. Per who goes to school. And we have several others prior to. And the thing about to me, the reason why, and I think this is why my position at Atlantic High School is so important, and I tell this. The reason why, to me, why the MLB Black American baseball player is not there is because a lot of the high school coaches don't look like me. And if we have two sport athletes and you have basketball or football, fans come to basketball games. Fans come to football games. And if I'm a superb athlete in both of those sports, and I'm a superb athlete in baseball, but I'm not playing, and the excuses you're giving me are not worthy to me, because every kid say, well, that I ain't gonna go for that. Right? Because I done played. So when we have a lack of Black African American high school coaches, then you have kids quitting baseball in 9th and 10th grade to try to pursue another sport, because if I'm a star, we're not gonna wait our turn on the bench.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. I get you.
Especially if I can go to spring practice, I can go to basketball camps, football camps. I'm getting these jerseys. I'm getting, JUCO offers. I'm getting offers from D2 colleges or whatever, and nobody's talking to me in baseball. I'm not even in the lineup.
Right. I got
So
you.
frustration. These kids don't understand. Wait your turn.
Wait your turn. Right.
They don't understand. Wait your turn. Look at the transfer portal.
Oh, it's crazy.
So the high school athlete, they really got a problem now, because the scholarships that was available for the high school athlete is now going to the JUCO or the transfer guy.
There you go. That's right.
So if a school offer you or interested in you, and this goes for all sports,
right?
If a school's interested in you, you better take heed to that, because the transfer portal it's all new to us, but I think it's a great thing because it allows athletes to compete. If I'm a 4-star athlete, I'm in Alabama, and Nick Saban say I'm not gonna play into my junior year because I got 2 first round draft picks in front of me. But I go to Ole Miss.
Start right now. Exactly. Well,
in baseball, the real bit about baseball, you have to play every day, or you're not going to be successful in it. Dion said it himself, and he's a great athlete. Bo Jackson. You have to play baseball.
That's right.
Every day, and athletes don't get the opportunity.
Right.
Because to me personally, I think it's the lack of personal opportunity for us. And it's expensive too.
Baseball. That's what I hear. Right. Well, and then I look at how things used to be as opposed to how things are today. Right. So when I was in high school, and I don't know if it's quite this way when you were in high school, but when I was in high school, I remember football season started. When it was over, I went to basketball, right? Basketball season would have already started, but I'll come a little late.
Right, because y'all went through Christmas to
Well, Coach Delray would put us in the Christmas tournament. And
up there on that Twin Lakes.
And then once basketball was over, this was funny. Coach Ed Harris was my track coach.
That's my frat brother, Ed Harris. I love him to death.
Man, I miss him, man. Great man. But listen, he was a track
principal at Atlantic.
He was a principal there. He was a track coach. And this is what he would do. We'll get in the district tournament, and he'll come to every game. And as soon as we lose, he'll say, I got your track uniform, the trunk. We're going to John Island tomorrow.
He didn't want you feeling bad and down on yourself. You lost today, but you're going to win tomorrow.
Immediately, he had our uniform. He said, I'm going to pick you up tomorrow. We're going to John Leonard. We gotta meet at Leonard. But you know the thing, though.
That's the great thing about playing different sports.
That's a great thing, because I really believe, I was helped by playing different sports. I think it made my football game better. That I played basketball, and that I ran, definitely because I ran track, because I got the opportunity to run track in college as well, my last 2 years.
With my sister,
Right. And so I went from a 4.40 to running low 4.3s and ran the fastest.
Hold on, man. You had a 60-minute little 60-minute clock, and
No,
you had the real thing.
hey, I had the real thing, Doc.
Now you had the little 60-minute. You had a little
Hey,
tick 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 that Pompey used to hold.
I,
You
I,
had a.
I tell you something.
Nah, I'm just teasing.
I was the fastest 40-yard dash time in the draft in the class of 1981.
Oh,
Right?
Lord.
And see what
Well,
a lot of people,
that gets you about 10 million a day.
oh man, I know, right? I need to go back.
Nah,
I need to go back.
I would tell you to go back, but after I done seen that new commercial with Moss and Barry Sanders talking about now, and Emmitt Smith talking about, I think I'll stay here. I'm just
He over there
saying,
asleep.
keep doing your interviews.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
listen, I tell you
Don't
this.
do that. Don't do yourself like that.
I tell you this though. You know, I enjoyed every sport, but there's a problem today, Eddie, that we got to address, right? Now, when I came up, you know, football wasn't a year-round. We didn't have no 7-on-7 tournaments during basketball season, right? And I didn't play AAU basketball when you play basketball after the high school season in March, you play all the way to July, you know, in the summer.
Wait till 2 days start.
Right. And so I'm thankful that I didn't have that pressure from my coaches, because at the end of the day, when I think back on my little career and when I was in the 9th grade, the best thing I did in the 9th grade was play basketball.
Right.
And Josh Smith was over the program.
I remember Josh Smith, yes.
What if he would have said to me, Bobby, you wasting your time in football, right? You too little. That sport ain't for you. Right. I would have missed the boat, right?
Right.
And now I see these kids now, it's hard to play, especially the big schools, it's hard to play multiple sports.
Well, my thing on that is I blame the parents, and I also blame the coaches, because the thing about is, and the one thing about me, I played multiple sports, and one thing you got to understand, if you're an athlete in your multiple sports that you played, what is the athletic position? Your linebacker position, your cornerback position, your guard and basketball position.
That's right.
If you're a wrestler, if you're waiting to run the last leg in the 440,
right?
Every position starts the same. But the importance comes from the motivation from the coaches in different sports.
Right.
Because they know how to motivate you differently.
Right. That's right.
And once you go to your main sport, you can utilize those motivation tactics and also those skill sets that you learn, like getting out the blocks.
Right. Absolutely.
You use getting out the blocks is when you catch an interception. That first step I got to get from that receiver.
I got to get out. That's right. Exactly.
I got to get away from that receiver. You know, in basketball, if you guard in the guard, that first step, I'm gonna get to where you think you're going. Boom, I'm gonna cut that off.
Cut it off, right?
Now you're picking up your dribble.
Right.
And baseball, it's hand-eye coordination. If you can catch a ball with one hand and a glove on, how easy is football gonna be easy to catch?
Right. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Look passes in basketball.
Oh,
if you throw a baseball, how easy is basketball gonna be able to throw on the court?
It's on the court. That's right.
And the thing about kids gotta miss their sport. And when I say miss their sport, is like I said, I was a much better baseball player than I was a football player. But on football, I was a starter, but I wasn't the star.
Okay, I got you.
I was able to be a follower.
Right, I got you.
Still a great athlete on that team.
I got you.
When it comes to baseball season, the same players that played both sports with me now in return look at me for guys in baseball. So therefore, I have nobody saying follow me. So because if you got a captain of a football team and you play football year round, you're gonna always look at this person as if he's superb in every way. Right. But he might be only superb in football. Let's hit a golf ball.
Right.
Let's see if you know how to hit a golf ball. Let's see if you get a tennis ball. Let's go swimming. You see what I'm saying? And swimming is a form of conditioning.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Because you can look at T.O., how he was in the pool and he was conditioning. He didn't show everything that he did,
Right.
But I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure he's done a lot in the swimming pool that he got from swimming people.
Absolutely.
You know, because they use every muscle. You know how hungry you are
Right.
after swimming or after you play basketball game.
Oh, yeah, no
It's
doubt.
swimming, you hungry as hell.
You're hungry. You're hungry. And you know what? You said a mouthful right there, because I remember during the time that I grew up in Delray, in the summers, man, I spent almost the whole day in the pool. Almost me, Toot Mitchell, Vic Mitchell, Smitty Bull, Scott. We spent hours in the pool. We would get up in the morning and we'll go to swimming lesson. Now we can already swim.
Right.
Just be at 9 just to be in the water.
Right.
From 9 to 11 they had swimming lesson. We'll go home for an hour, eat lunch.
Right.
We'll open at 12:30. We'll be there from 12:30 to 5 o'clock every day.
And the key things that they don't realize about the swimming pool is if you play multiple sports, you never out of shape.
You never.
That's why Coco's doing so good. She's never. She ran track. She did basketball. Then of course she did her tennis thing.
Okay.
But if you play multiple sports, you're never out of shape.
Exactly.
You're different shape.
Exactly.
Basketball shape is not football shape.
Not football
track
shape.
Is not football shape.
Right.
But you personally ain't never out of shape. And the body adapts to not getting back into shape.
Right.
You see
what I'm saying? Well conditioned.
Right. So therefore, your injuries are going to be low, and you're going to be ready day one. And when you're ready day one, when you go into training camp or any type of camps, coach want to know if you've been working at home.
That's right.
If you're tired after an hour of conditioning, I know you ain't do nothing at home.
You ain't do nothing at home, right? You behind the 8 ball.
And then you went from 2 on the depth chart to 7.
That's right.
Now you with the special teams coach.
And now you're mad now. And you point the finger at the coach. It ain't his fault. It ain't his fault. You ain't get ready. You ain't get ready.
You know the first 2 weeks, you out there with the first team, everything. And then the third week, they come out, oh, no, you going here with the special teams coach. It's starting to rain. You go to the special team coach. Now you start to look at your scholarship.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. I remember in Delray. Delray was so good to me as a kid, man. Oh, yeah. I had the privilege, man, of when I was in the 10th grade. Randy Strong got drafted by the Baltimore Colts.
Oh wow, yeah.
Of course, Barry Hill and Big Daddy went to Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And of course, Barry went to the Miami Dolphins. And Eddie, I used to work.
Great game last night.
Great game. I used to work out with those guys, man, when I was in the 10th grade. And so you can imagine being out there at Old Carver High.
Right.
We practice every 4 o'clock every day in the summer. Right. We were always out there working out. And I'm working out with Charles Cornelius, Barry Hill, Randy Strong.
Right. I'm just a
10th grader, And so all that, man, just really helped me. Those guys taught me a lot. They spoke into my life. And that's what I like about Delray, the community of Delray. We got guys like you. You're going to be a blessing to those players.
We're very unique. I mean, I hope so, because my life is just like everybody's life. You know what I'm saying? It's a 4-letter word. And love and the other 4-letter words compared. But you got to understand life. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people this, and this is how I live my life. It's 3 things you get one of. You get one mother, you get one father, and you get one life.
That's right.
Everything else you can get multiple of. You can get multiples of everything in life. But you only get one mother, one father, and one personal life. Right. And I'm blessed for my parents to be who they are. Growing up with who my parents are, even my grandfathers, Reverend Odom and Reverend Lee, even with my grandfather, having added pressure on what you're not supposed to do or where you're not supposed to go or what you're not supposed to say and who you're supposed to be. And being a preacher's kid yourself, there's certain things that Bobby wasn't supposed to do. What's wrong with Bobby? And basically we was just trying to live our lives just like everyone else. But when we grow and we continue to grow, we realize that's a blessing.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt.
Because, you know, dealing with the people I dealt with in my life and the type of job that I have, I realize more now how much of a blessing it was to have and still have my mom and dad.
The mom and your dad.
Have the grandparents that I had.
Yes.
And so my thing now is I want to give knowledge that was given to me, but I also want to show that life can be happy by showing love. You don't always have to be the AW or the AH, you know, however you want to spell it. You don't have to be that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And sometimes a simple conversation or a simple word to one of these kids or to somebody can change their demographics of how their life go. Like you say, how my dad said, "Hey, Bobby, I need you on defense today."
Right. Exactly.
And now those simple words of and your simple saying, "Okay, coach."
Right.
No, hell no. I
No,
don't
right.
I ain't playing. That man want me to play defense. I ain't gonna do that.
Right.
It was your acceptance also.
Right. Absolutely. That's
See what I'm saying? A lot of these kids don't accept certain things because they're not old to be set in their ways.
Right.
But the way we raising them, making them set in their ways, because they don't know how good it is to be 40.
Right. That's
they
right.
Know how good it is to be 30.
That's right.
They just happy to be 18 and 21.
Right.
And so for me, I have to try to conversate with them in a way to where I'm still their superior.
Right.
But I'm not I don't want you to feel inferior.
Right. Absolutely.
And so this generation is gonna be hard, and I'm up for the challenge with this team. I know last year I think they won 7 or 8 games. I'm trying to get my facility done at Atlantic, you know what I'm saying? So look out for some donations for the baseball team. I want the field at Atlantic High School to be done, so we can play games there, along with games at Pompey Park, along with games at Miller Park, and I want the 2 leagues of the presidents of those both leagues to be there on opening day, so I can have the Delray National League and the Delray American League. To understand that y'all can keep both leagues, but I want everybody to come to Atlantic High School to play baseball, and let's see what we can do.
Hey man, that's it. Well, I tell you what, you know, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the kids, man, because, you know, like I said, we got athletes. That's one thing we got. We got athletes. We got skilled kids. But when they have the right leadership and the right coaching, you know, they can go far. And because you've been somewhere, you know, you can help them get where you was. And see, and see, that's the carrot right there. You know, I can remember like yesterday, Barry Hill speaking into my life. And I'm sitting there like this, with my mouth open. Taking it all in. And the advice he gave me, because, you know, I'm going to be honest with you now. I'm going to be honest with you. Almost made a decision. But it worked. You know, God works things out too, right? And so,
don't try to figure them out.
Don't try to figure them out. Because I'm telling you right now, when I came out of high school, Eddie, if Anthony Penn would have called me and said, "Bobby, you need to go to Cookman," I would have been gone. Eddie, I would have been gone. But here's the thing. He didn't call me.
HBCU's got a problem with that.
And number 2, Tank Johnson told my daddy that he wasn't going to recruit me because he felt he was wasting his time.
That's what they did with my sister Candy. No HBCUs recruited her.
It's crazy.
And me, I wasn't recruited by HBCU. The head coach of FAMU actually came to an All-Star game.
Oh, wow.
And he came to the All-Star game, and I was the only black on the All-Star. The Dick Hauser All-Star tournament.
Wow.
And both squads, I was the only black, and I was heated, and I didn't start.
What?
Long story short, my first at bat. My first at bat in a 0-0 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. The second pitch that cat threw to me, I hit a 3-run home run.
Wow.
Boom, cleared the bases.
Wow. The rest is history.
My next at bat, I hit a hard line drive that the shortstop dove and caught. right?
Wow. Okay.
So, and I was playing with a chip.
Uh-huh.
So then I made a great play on defense to close the game out. We won the game 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
The next game is a double hitter.
Mm-hmm.
It was I was probably about 30 scouts, and I'm not tooting my own horn. There's that many scouts there because it was the All-Star game. And
Wow.
Chris Steins, he was drafted in the 4th round by the Pittsburgh Pirates there, and we was on the same team at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at short, and they had me at second.
Mm-hmm.
And the next game, they had me starting. And I went to the coach and say, "Hey, man, I'm finna go to prom." And all the scouts there and everybody, they want me to fill out the little card.
Right,
and
right.
I said, nah, I'm good. Y'all saw what I can do.
Right,
I
right.
was too good for my own good. And this is what I got to tell my players. I was too good for my own good, but this is how I got recruited at FAM.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Durant, and God bless him, he died.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first recruiting class. He looked at me, he said, "I don't care where you go. I'll offer you a scholarship right now. You want it?"
Wow.
And I said, "Yeah, coach, I'll get back with you." And that was it. And I left.
That was
and
it. The
he
rest
offered
is
me a
history.
scholarship right there.
Wow. Wow.
And the problem is, and I could have went to Miami-Dade. I had a full ride to Miami-Dade South, who was number one in the country at the time. University of Miami. I went to Florida State Select Camp, but they wanted me to go to outfield with partial scholarships.
Right.
And the reason I went to FAMU, and this is why I got to HBCUs, and probably why Travis Hunter went to Jackson State, is we want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't call me,
right, hey, you don't put yourself in the game.
The worst thing an athlete can do is say no.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
But if you don't call, you don't answer the question for him.
Right.
And that's my thing with Atlanta high school baseball.
Right.
I know people, because I told a lot of the parents already that I discussed. I said, I know in baseball, I'm probably the first African-American black coach that your kids and you had to deal with coming as head coach in baseball.
Right, right.
So for me, I have to make sure that I'm knowledgeable, I'm respectful, and most of all, I'm teaching and coaching the game of baseball.
Baseball, amen, amen.
Where all the doubts become advocates.
Right, that's right.
All the doubters become advocates.
That's
and now I got a program.
Right, I like that. Oh, you're gonna do well, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. You know, you got to give me that schedule because I'm gonna be there.
Oh yeah, my first game February 22nd. I'm playing Boynton High.
You playing Boynton High?
Boynton High, yeah. You know, and then
I'm gonna be there.
Gonna be my next game.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for sure.
All right, I'll make sure I give you the
schedule. For sure.
Absolutely.
So look, man, I'm here to support you and love on you because I know you're gonna do well, and I'm excited, man, because I'm excited for your opportunity, but I'm really excited for the kids in Delray, man, because I think
I am myself. I mean, it's like I told you early on in the interview. I say the one thing I know about life. I know the game of baseball. And before I go, I want to make sure as many people and many kids, as many parents, because I even want parents to learn how to keep score. I want the parents to know if the umpire called him right. I want the parents to know that that's an infield fly. He out. I want the parents to argue for me.
There you go.
So I can stay in the ball game. I don't want
There you go. There you go.
Know the rules of the game.
I love
it. Argue the rules of the game for me.
I love it.
That's how I'm gonna teach the whole game. Everything I do in practice, if I teach you the defensive way to stopping somebody, you're gonna be on offense too. See, it's different from football. If I teach you a play to stop somebody on the first and third situation as a defender, I'm also teaching you as a runner how to get away. From that situation.
Absolutely.
So everything I always teach twice at the same lesson.
Because
in baseball, you're gonna be a batter and a defender.
That's right, man. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. Well, man, I'm real glad to get you on the show. We've been trying to do this about a month now.
Oh man, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Well, everybody from Delray who tune in, they know who you are. But for those who have never seen you before, don't know you, tell the people who's your niece and what just happened in her life in the last couple of weeks.
Well, for all those who don't know me, I'm a little guy that my niece, who is actually Coco Golf, called me Uncle Big Cat.
Uncle Big Cat.
Now, right. Now, you know, big is a quote that means large, huge, or what have you. I'm not that type of person. But I do have a big personality.
Right.
I do have a big heart.
That's right.
And something magical happened. My niece, Coco Golf, just won the U.S. Open women's singles title
Yes,
at
she did.
19 years old.
19 years old.
With the pressure that the 18-0 New England Patriots could not do. Going into the Super Bowl.
That's right.
All you got to do is win one game.
One game.
As the favorite.
Hey, win one game.
The toilet paper, the money. But my niece.
Yes.
And the spectacular was awaiting.
Yes, man.
She went in as not the overall favorite, but one of the top 3 or 4 favorites.
Yes.
She had a couple 3-set matches and even lost the first set of the final.
She did.
And was a big underdog.
And she did. And she did.
And she won and beat the #1 girl in the world the following Monday.
That's right.
And that type of work ethic for the world is new.
Well,
Bobby Butler know. I know what my daddy was taught by Coach Pompey and Coach Hurts about work ethic.
Yes.
About the team who practiced the hardest.
That's right.
Supposed to win.
Supposed to win. There you go. There it is.
Win.
There it is.
Supposed to win.
Supposed to win. That's right.
So if
That's
I
right.
can get you to the point of supposing to win.
Win. Yes.
Your brain, your mind, and your attitude should get you over that hump, baby.
Man, I love it, man. I love
Coco did it. She
Big
got
Cat,
over the hump with all the pressure.
She did it, bruh. I'm in here crying. I'm here crying tears.
Oh, yeah, you're not the only teary-eyed man.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something. It's something about championships for me.
Yeah.
Coming from Delray.
Oh,
we
yeah.
always in it, some
That's
kind
it.
of way. And so, man, I'm just telling you, man, I get goosebumps. I can go back to Delray Rocks. I won a championship every year except for 1 year with the Rocks.
Yeah, one loss, that's heartbreaking.
That's a heartbreak.
We ain't like nobody to score on us.
Man, we ain't talking 2-3 days if it happens.
Yeah, how you
like
score?
somebody
We win the game 18-6, and how they score.
Exactly.
I'm trying to figure it out too.
But one thing I can say about Coco,
yeah,
she has a true heart of a champion.
Oh yeah.
She play. I can see Red.
Oh yeah.
I can see her daddy.
Oh,
I can see her mama. She got all that. I can see her uncle.
Yeah.
She got all that inside of her, and she plays with tenacity. And you can see it on her face. I mean, she ain't.
I done told my players this, and I told some of my players. I ain't have a parent meeting yet, but it's soon to come. And I tell them this: I like to win.
Amen.
I actually love to win, but I'm saying I like to win.
Bruh.
The love is powerful. I like to win.
Yes.
And in order for me to win, I love to practice.
Yes, sir. We're gonna practice hard.
You see the
I hear you. We're gonna practice right. That's right.
I like to win.
So get ready, cause we're gonna practice.
Cause since I like to win, I love to practice.
I love to practice. I love it, man.
Practice. And if I get my players to buy in to loving the practice, they're gonna see how easy games are.
Game time.
They're gonna see how relaxed they are when the plays come.
Right.
Because it's only a certain amount of outs in a baseball game.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And the player, you only gonna get a certain amount of chances for those outs.
That's right.
Get the ball that come to you.
Right. There you go.
Bobby, knock down the pass that come to you.
They come to you. There you go.
You don't gotta make 15 tackles.
No, handle your business.
2 deep balls.
Handle your business.
That's all I need, them 2 deep balls.
2 deep balls. That's right. That's right. I love it, man. I love it.
Play for a long time. So that's how I'm coaching is when the ball come to you, just get that one.
Just get that one. I like it. I like it.
And we'll see at the end of the game where we at.
Right. Well, I tell you, man, you're gonna do a great job. I look forward to it, man. February what? What's the date again?
February 22nd, my first game with Boynton Beach High.
February 22nd.
Yeah, it's home. It should be at Miller Park.
All right.
6:30 start.
I'm gonna make sure I'll be there. I'm gonna have.
I'll let you tell your sister Teresa I say hello.
I will. I'll let her know. We'll have a whole posse there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Tell
look,
her get her rest so she can come.
Yeah, well, thank you for being on.
Too.
Thank you for being on, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this was our show tonight, man. What an honor to have Eddie Big Cat Odom on with us tonight. And we really appreciate you being on, man. Hey, look, if y'all like the show, comment and share it with your friends. I'm your host, Bobby Butler. This is 100 Yards of Football. And tonight, a true legend from Delray, Eddie Big Cat Odom. Thanks again, buddy.
Thank you so much.